Hey, what's going on, everyone? It's the Swinging Bull here with Mr. SLP and ready for Power Hour to wrap up the trading week. How you doing today, Lee?
Man, I'm just ready for the weekend, man. It's been a great, fantastic week in the market, right? I mean, there's so much profit to be made, so it's just like a winding down Friday, to be honest with you. Profit taken, and we play some big plays with the put side, right? But it's been just kind of a relaxing Friday, to be honest.
Yeah,
What about you?
Fridays I tend to play light, and I don't really take a lot of plays, but I definitely capitalized on those SPY puts that you actually alerted in the premium section.
You're welcome, sir. You're welcome.
Yeah, got 50% on those.
Yeah.
So that was a great gain there. I did want to talk about the PMI report that came out today, and kind of explain why it was bad news. So if you're looking at my screen here, we got the S&P Global U.S. Services PMI, and then the manufacturing. Mainly, it's the PMI, the U.S. Services here. The last report was 52.7. Now this number we want to be high. We want this number to go up. All right. So what happened was, the last report was 52.7. They were expecting a readout of 53, which would have been up, would have been good. Came in at 47. So it came in below the forecast and below the previous reading. So the reason why that number is important is the Purchasing Managers Index. That's what the PMI stands for. It's basically an index of prevailing direction of economic trends in the manufacturing and service sector. All right. So we had the manufacturing and the services readout today. And what that does is summarize whether market conditions, which are viewed by purchasing managers, are expanding, staying the same, or contracting. All right. So the higher the number, the more growth that we have in the manufacturing and the services. So when that number comes in lower, that tells us that they expected it for the number to be higher than the last readout. They thought there was going to be some growth in the services PMI. Ended up coming in at 47. So that shows contraction in the PMI. Anything below 50 is bad. Okay, we always want it to be above 50. So it came in at 47, and of course that kind of spooked a lot of investors today. Let me go to the SPY chart here and show you how, we started off, we had a nice recovery yesterday and held up very good during pre-market, after hours yesterday and pre-market this morning. Actually broke 400 right after the bell rang. And then all of a sudden, we started selling off for the rest of the day. I think it has a lot to do with the PMI numbers that came in, which is showing a slowdown in the services and the manufacturing, when what we want to see there is actually growth in a higher number. So they were forecasting 53. PMI readout came in at 47. Not really good. It was a surprise because it was much less than the forecasted. So what do you think about all that, Lee?
Thank you for filling me in, man. I didn't really even look into that. I was just playing the trend and where the volume was, right? So I agree. I agree with 100% what you're saying. A lot of things are still slowing down. We have that slowing down. We have home sales slowing down. We have buildings slowing down.
Right.
And we just have to take advantage of the market for what it is. And the market this week was bullish as hell. And all we can do is play that trend all the way up until it's broken, right? Until we start seeing the sell-off. When the sell-off comes, we play the downside. And we were anticipating that was going to happen today. We got a lot of things going. If you look for next week, there's a lot of things in the pipeline, especially like conferences and big numbers coming out next week. So I think this was just like a healthy profit taking. I mean, it's been such a great week, right?
Yeah, it has, and I think that's why we kind of saw a little bit of a sell-off today, because, this week has been a great week. I'll go back to the Webull chart here and got the SPY pulled up. But if we look at this week, where we started, so basically Monday the 18th, right? So we did gap up in the morning on Monday the 18th. We gapped up in pre-market, sold off. So but starting basically when we hit that low on Monday at 380, for the rest of the week, just a steady climb in the SPY, which follows the S&P 500 index. Great week. We took lots of profits to the upside throughout the week. And then, like you were saying earlier, we alerted quite a few puts today. We alerted puts on SPY, of course. We also alerted some puts on what else did we do some puts on?
Just let's just face it. Tesla was a big one for me. I'm kind of scared to play Tesla, especially when we got the queen of Tesla over here smashing targets for like 2,200% on the call side. So it's kind of a big shoe to fill. But I did play some Tesla puts. Today, I think we got about 250 to 270% on those, and it literally. It's so scary to see the volatility in the actual contracts, because they went up 250%, and I'm telling you, in like 6 minutes, 6 to 10 minutes, it was 250%.
And we see that a lot, especially with Tesla. Those premiums, when they're hot, and they run fast to either direction. You could gain 200% just as easy as you can lose 100% of the premium you paid for the contracts. But yeah, Tesla's premiums for the options, they run so hard in either direction. It can be very scary at times if you've over allocated or something like that. Anytime I play Tesla, I like playing smaller positions when I can. Maybe just a handful of contracts, or maybe even just one contract. Depending on how close we are to the money, those contracts can get a bit pricey, especially with Tesla. Price.
Oh yeah, man. I was looking. I was like, you know what? Let me do a quick let me see what we got for next week, because I was like, okay, let me buy some Tesla puts on the and let me swing it. I was like, let me just swing it. It's going to be great. It's going to pay off even better if I swing it. But then when I saw the contract price, it was incredible. It's like $20, which who has $2,000?
$2,000 for one contract.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like I cannot alert that, because I could play it myself, but then it's not fair to everyone in our Discord. So I was like, you know what? I can't alert that kind of price. So we play some day trades for that 250%. And then all we can do is look, maybe play next week, right? So it'll come Monday, if we get more sell-off, or if we bounce from here on Tesla, we can play at least a few days. We can probably play Friday's expiration on Monday or Tuesday, and it'd be a bit cheaper for us. So that's probably what I'm going to do. But also the fun part about it is, if you wait for Tesla Fridays in our Discord, you have Amy just learning it, and it's so cheap to play it on the same day expirations. High risk. But if you have an experienced trader like Amy, just following the trend, it can become very easy to trade on those same day expirations, right?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I got some technical signals on Tesla pulled up right now, and basically since June 2nd, so about a month and a half ago, it formed this head and shoulders that you can clearly see on this chart. And then we got, maybe next week we could see, upper 800s here. We got some take profit levels here on the chart. So, we're basically on the upside of the inverse head and shoulders. It's you can call it a bottom head and shoulders. It's an inverse head and shoulders. And, that we hit a major upside on Tesla yesterday, coming out of that inverse head and shoulders to the upside. And so, that Tesla's not done. I'm interested to see if we can get above this 200-day moving average, which is going to be right around 908. 908.50. If Tesla can get above the 200-day moving average on the daily,
that's huge. It's a huge bullish area. That would be very bullish if it gets there.
Yeah, and you can see from my chart here, this take profit is right where this 200 MA. So we are gonna see a lot of resistance right there for sure if we can get up there. So let's see what happens next week, and go from there. But This week, wow, I loved looking at the heat map all week. Now the heat map from today, definitely red, but from Tuesday to yesterday, I mean, this thing was lit up like a Christmas tree to the green side, super bright all week. And then of course today we had some selling because we were up so much, Tuesday to Thursday basically.
Yeah, I think SPY is like, if you look on like the minute chart of SPY, I mean, we're in this little channel. It's an uptrend. If you put a line to the bottom of the channel all the way up, and then you can put a line across the top, we're slowly trickling our way back up.
Yeah, I think so.
So, I mean, I would look, I'm not even going to play any today, but if you want to do a quick day trade, I would probably just wait for it to hit the top trend line, see if it gets rejected, and then play down the downside, right? So, or if it breaks that top trend line, maybe play some calls into the end of the day. So, I mean, there's some volume right now.
Yeah,
it's only 1% down. I mean, it's not the end of the world, right? We're all like, everyone's going chaotic over here, saying we're going deep red again when we're only down 1%. The whole week has been just green, 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 green. So, one day of red isn't that bad out of 5, right?
Right. Yeah. I mean, we're getting ready to test the top of this trend line that you were just talking about here. So, we already know it's going to be one direction or the other when it.
If it comes back down, I would look. I don't know what kind of contracts you'd look at, but maybe like 394s or 393s, something like that.
Yeah, something definitely close
out
to the money, right? So we can get
broke
the delta
out of here, though. You see, this is some strong volume coming in, and
here it comes.
Yeah,
no, you're absolutely right. Definitely hanging out on this top channel of this trend line of this channel, the top trend line. And we'll see what happens. Kind of flirting with this 200-day moving average on the 1 minute as well. Let me make sure I got my EMAs on.
Put those EMAs on. Come
Boom.
on.
It's pretty similar on the
go.
smaller time frames. Yeah. All right. So let's see if we can get above this 200-day moving average on the 1 minute, and then also break that trend line to the upside there.
I not have the VWAP on. There it is. The VWAP is 396.27. Can we get there by the end of the day? We shall see. That's a long way up, but it can do it. We know SPY, right?
Yeah. I mean, we definitely could do it. So, I mean, especially during power hour. Oh, look at that move it just made there. Wow, hit 390. So definitely.
So if it pops back into this channel, it may retest that top line and bounce right off, and we can play that bounce play. Or if it comes back into that channel, then we can probably play the put side of things.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. So I move my arrows over a little bit. There. All right, cool. Let's just follow this bad boy. We very well could. I think if this is a successful retest and bounce, next stop is going to be VWAP, probably kind of like a magnet, right? It's like right up there.
Yep, exactly. I mean, we've seen it. I think we've been on this show a few times and we've seen that happen. But it's trying. Let's see what it does on this one, how it closes.
Yeah, kind of losing some steam, but we are still above the 9-day and the 20-day moving EMAs here. So this 9-day could act as some sort of support here. If a lot of day traders like to look at the 9.
I'd probably look at, like, if you were to play on the put side, say if it doesn't bounce here, it looks like it wants to, but if it pops back into this channel and comes down to retest that bottom trend, then I'll probably look at like the 393 July 25th. I think I go Monday's expiration, or you can go Wednesdays.
Yeah, that'll be Monday.
Safer.
Yeah, Monday or
like
Wednesday.
For a day trade, it'd be a day trade right now. It's 136, 137, but this can easily go. This contract can easily go probably to about 155, 150 area if this fails to push higher here. So I got my fingers on the trigger. 393 puts for Monday's expiration.
Yeah, and that's what we do. We kind of get the orders ready, save some time. I'll go ahead and open up a couple trade windows, one for call, one for put. Let the price action tell us which way we're going to go, and then that way you don't have to scramble trying to get orders ready when it's kind of already made confirmation, right? So go ahead and have those the call and the put pulled up, and then that way we can execute them if we get some retest confirmation deals going on here. But yeah, that's good stuff there, Lee. We've been shorting some stock lately too. You had a pretty good short on Mara recently. We took it from 1270. I believe it hit both your targets and ended up hitting below 1150 at one point. And we took profit on that.
Yeah, man. I mean, crypto's running hot all week. It's been on a blast. Mera went from, I mean, we played the upside from, I think it's like $7. Anyways, I bought those puts, by the way. It's a bit risky, but I bought them at 137. I put it in the live stream chat in our Discord. It could bounce right here off of 394.10. If it drops below that, then I think we're game on for the target. But yeah, my stop is at 10%. From there, 137. So it's going to be roughly about like 125-ish. But it looks like it wants to bounce right here. Maybe play some calls instead. We may have to switcheroo here.
Yeah, maybe. And look, it bounced right off that 9-day moving average right there. Look at that.
It did. But it's still hitting the top of that trend line. So
having trouble getting back above it.
It looks like it wants to try to take off here and fake me out at the end of the day. But yeah, very small amount that we're playing with, but I think it's worth the risk there.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's what I was saying earlier on Fridays. You know, I like to play smaller. You know, don't give back your gains from the week on a foolish play on Friday by over allocating on something, and just the volatility we get on Fridays alone. You can easily give back your gains for the week on one foolish play.
Yeah, so, play very small and have a tight stop, guys. It's a day trade. If it doesn't work out, you can stop out for minimal loss. Don't let it drag out until the end of the day. If we push above that recent high there of 394.68, it's probably going to go much higher. So that's why I would have a stop. Like 10% is probably going to be where that is. So
let me go ahead and draw this this high here. 390. We'll call it 390. Yeah, 394.68. Go ahead and make this darker. We'll make it red, just because it's a level of importance there. So we have a couple things going on here. We got the channel that it formed, right? Okay, so it's been trading in this channel, ever since I mean, it bounced right here. So I'd say right around 2:30 p.m. Eastern. It started trading in this channel, just up and down, bouncing off this top trend line, this bottom trend line. And now we're getting some tests of the, so we got a couple things going on here. We got this top trend line, got this bottom trend line, which formed the channel. And now we have a previous high of 394.68. So if we're looking for upside, we obviously want it to break to the upside of this top trend line of the channel, and then this 394.68. And then maybe we could see some upside after it breaks this 394.68. But if it does break out of this channel to the upside and hits its head on this 394.68 again, like it did right here, then pop back into the channel and just be playing games.
Yeah, it really depends too. I can easily just average down a little bit. I have one contract. I can buy one more and bring the average down only if I see that we're going to see some more selling. Maybe double top right there and sell off. But definitely you have to keep your eyes out on
double
this.
Top.
So.
Yeah.
Well, on that recent high, I mean, it could get rejected right there and pop back down. So that's kind of the other place that you can look. Maybe if you have two contracts you want to buy, that would be the next place to buy it.
It's kind of like a mini double top. Yeah.
A mini double top. There you go.
A mini double top. Let's go on the 1 minute.
We shall see.
Absolutely.
It's looking bullish though. It's holding that 9 days, so it's technically bullish.
It is holding the 9 day. I mean, we're going 1, 2, 3, 4 1 minute candles in a row. Just it's bounced off this 9 day, this blue 9 day. We'll see what we have going on here.
I could definitely get stopped out here. So looks like
let's see if it makes that double top though that you were talking about.
Yeah, if it does, probably likely be stopped out. But let's see.
You never know.
Got some indecision here.
Yeah, I mean, and that's what we get on Fridays. And the people that say, "Oh, Fridays, it's always a sell-off day," that is not true. What Friday is a volatile day. When everyone thinks it's going to sell off, they'll pump it. If everyone thinks it's going to pump, it'll sell off. I mean, kind of reverse psychology sometimes with the big money hedge funds and market makers. But we just need to play the price. That's why we play the price action. We don't try and predict things.
Yep.
It's like we'll see what happens here in the next couple minutes, but those puts might be all right for you.
Anyways, with the mirror, yeah, we played mirror from the 7s up to, I believe it hit 14 today, 14 and change.
Yeah.
I honestly think that if next week, I think it's going to be a red. I think it's going to be a red first couple of days. That's just my personal prediction. I think that maybe Monday, Tuesday it will be red coming up to, or at least Monday green, maybe Tuesday red, and then Wednesday there's going to be a lot of volatility. So I feel like there's probably time to probably play Mara and a few of those Bitcoin related stocks on the downside. I think there's going to be some time to play on Monday, Tuesday. And then depends what they say on Wednesday, right? I mean, if it's lower numbers, then the market may take it right.
Yeah. So we got the Fed Chair Jerome Powell speaking next Wednesday afternoon, and big day. Are they going to hike the interest rates up by 0.75? Are they going to go full throttle and do 100 basis points, which would be a 1% increase, or which would be more hawkish? Or do they back off a little bit and only do half, 50 basis points, 0.5%? I personally think it's going to be 0.75. If they come in at 1% or 0.5%, I think it's going to be a surprise in either direction.
Right here, guys.
Let me go back to SPY since we got
I'm sorry, it looks like it wants to pop, and I'm about to probably stop out of it right here. So yeah, it looks like it wants to push high, guys. So we stopped out that for a small loss, but we fight another day.
Let's see what this candle does.
Yeah.
I mean, it did break. We got to be committed, right? So it broke our previous high here of 394.68. That's why I drew the red line. We were.
That was our stop right there, and
boom,
we're getting a lot of volume into the end of the day. So I know that it kind of sucks we stopped out, but if this thing starts pumping towards that VWAP, then you're going to be in trouble. So it's always good to have a plan right before you get in.
Yeah, and and very strict stop loss on a day like today. Took a very, very minimal loss, and we live to fight another day. There's going to be 100 more plays out there. So no, that's good stuff, man. We got to stick to our guns on stuff like this.
Try to pump this. If you look at the volume at the bottom here, they're going to try to push this higher.
Yeah, it's coming in. I mean, if we take the last 5 volume candles, yes, we got this big red one here, but we got four medium-sized green volume candles. It looks like it does want to pump a little bit, but as we all know, anything can happen. There was another one we shorted today, Lee. We shorted Netflix. That's right. I'm already up. I was up. I hit like a low at 219. We got in at like 223. I ended up being up like $4 a share on that.
Look at that, guys. Now it's trying to sell off.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, now it's trying to sell off, but that has to obviously follow through and close because it can easily get pushed back up. But look at this; it wants to sell right off here.
Yeah, and a lot of times, like this is me personally, like when it made this high of 394.68. Sometimes I'll give a little buffer on there, as far as a stop loss on a put, because I have seen market makers kind of push it up just a little bit above the previous high to it's kind of like a stop loss raid, right? And then it goes the direction we want. So sometimes I do have like a 10-20 cent buffer.
Yeah, this is it. It looks quite the sell-off, but like I say, if it can push right here, or it's trying to pull back below that the EMA 9-day. So if it does pull back down under that, I'm quite bearish actually into the end of the day, and I may just try to jump back into the same ones.
You might be able to re-enter, and then
but it has to show me. Obviously, it has to show me more selling here because it hasn't closed this candle, and it's trying to close below the 9-day.
Yeah, I want to see it. For the puts to still be good, it needs to break these candles over here, form this little plateau over here. It really needs to get below 394. Basically, 394.15 area. If it doesn't get below 394,
I mean, see that the EMA 21-day is also.
It's probably right there. Yeah, it's
it's
probably right there.
394.27 around there.
Yep. So I think it really does need to get below that for it to maybe continue selling there. You know, if it doesn't, I think it maybe continues to push a little bit there.
I think we got resistance. There's resistance here at 390, 395.05 around there. Yeah, but it's just a little bit finicky, and we're going to see obviously a clear direction probably in the next 15 minutes where it's going to go. And it's going to pick that direction and probably shoot up or shoot down. And we're going to see that happen here. So, yeah, stay tuned for that.
Yeah. I mean, true. It's already 3:30 p.m. Eastern. The power hour is halfway over. We've got some exciting action on SPY here. And
Okay.
Sometimes it's good. Yeah, here goes the push, Lee.
Yeah, it's good. I'm glad we're out of it, guys. Yeah, I'm glad we're out of it. We're going to keep an eye out on this. But you were talking also just a minute ago. Sorry, I interrupted you about the short that we played today.
Yes.
It was Netflix we played on the short side, right? Because Netflix was running hot all week since the earnings were released. So we had the earnings weren't even that good. They didn't lose as much as they said they were going to lose. They said they were going to lose, I think, 2 million, and they lost 1 million. Right. Which is still bad, right? I mean, you're losing customers, so that's
a million customers lost in one quarter. I mean, yeah, still bad, but lower than they thought, right?
Yeah, so that happened, and I decided to short it today. I mean, we got about $4 out of it on the per share on the short side of the low of day, and then we also shorted TBLT, which is
TBLT.
Which is tough, a tough build. They've had many reverse splits, and of course they're going to have a nice big run after a split when they have a float of I think it's like 1.5 million or something like that. Yeah. If they want this to continue, they're going to have to bring out some big news for this to continue, or otherwise this is going to come back down if they don't bring something out quick, right? So they need to keep bringing that fluff news out in order to push it up higher if they want. But I can say about 95% sure that they're going to do an offering pretty soon.
Right.
Especially at this price, they're probably going to do an offering. They need to raise funds. They always do it. And they're going to be a sub-dollar stock one day in the near future. Yeah, you can see the dilution there in the chart as Bull has up. It's been diluted since they IPO'd. And the IPO was only probably like 2-3 years ago. And I think they reverse split twice or 3 times already.
2008. Well, it was actually the end of 2018. So let's just call this, 2009, the year of 2019, 20, 21, 20, 22. Only 3.5 years they've been around. So they've only been listed for 3.5 years, and they already did a reverse split in 2020, 1-for-10 reverse split. So yeah, dilution going on there, that's for sure. And as you can see from the bigger time frame chart, I mean, shoot, we can go ahead and draw this bad boy out here. I mean, it's just, in this downtrend here, and based on even the gain it had today, 30%, it still hasn't gotten over this overall downtrend, the longer term downtrend. It's right up on it. It's right up on it, but it's not above it yet. Here, I'll get rid of that line.
So what we did is we played it I shorted it from 820. And we played it from 820 now as the low of day. The low after that was 721. So you got yourself like about $1 per share profit.
So
on this,
10%.
Just about 12-13%. And you got on the short side there per share. And this is one that's always, I mean, as soon as it reverse split, we already shorted it from like $20 down to like 4 or 5 or whatever it was. So, I mean,
that's like a 60-70% gain on that one.
Yeah. So we played. Look, after they reverse split, let's see where it was at. Okay, so right up here. So we loaded at $20 back in April, and it hit all the way down to $1.30, right? So that's pretty much 90%.
Amazing,
right there. And now it's curling back up, right? So it's good. But I ultimately feel like it's going to sell off. They're going to do an offering pretty soon, guys. It's going back down to $1 or $2 or whatever you guys say. You can hold me to this, and you can message me later on saying you were damn right, 100%.
This is recorded. I have a copy of this conversation. So
that's even better. Keep it.
Yeah, but Lee, ever since lunchtime, like around 12:30 today, it's been in this downtrend. So
Yes, yes, it has.
it kind of hit this up here, and it kind of retested it here just about 30 minutes ago. Got knocked down. Maybe it hits its head again and keeps getting knocked down, but we'll see. We'll keep our eye on that. It's on the watch list. We'll check that out. Carnival Cruise Line got a massive price target cut today. I wanted to mention that.
Did they?
Yeah, Truist Securities changed its opinion to sell and reduced their price target from $15 down to $8. And Carnival Cruise Line also just did a $1 billion public offering. Now, some investors are looking at this offering as a good thing because it's going to allow them to take care of their 2023 debt maturities for next year, which means they're basically going to be okay until 2024. So I actually think the offering's a good thing. Yes, it's diluting the shares, but I don't think Carnival Cruise Line is going anywhere, regardless of the naysayers that are saying how much debt they have and stuff like that. They have ways of getting money. They can sell ships. They can do private offerings, stuff like that. But it just so happens they did do a $1 billion worth of shares, a public offering. And now we got some analysts downgrading the price target almost in half there. I'm not too concerned about it. I will disclose I am a bull on Carnival long term, but my average price per share is like $8.90. So again, I'm not really too worried about it at this point. And I'm not even really in the position all the way right now. So just wanted to point that out. They did get a price target cut. And if you look at the 15-minute chart, that right here, 2 days ago is when they did the $1 billion offering. So it sold off down to here, continued selling off through extended hours trading. Started to kind of stabilize a little bit yesterday in extended hours before today. And then this morning is when they got hit with the price target cut by this Truist Financial.
Truist is SunTrust, right? SunTrust.
Oh, is it? Okay,
they
cool.
joined together. Truist is SunTrust and BBT. Is it BT&T or whatever it was?
BB&T, yeah.
Yeah, so they merged together and formed that Truist because I have an account with them. So they are a legit bank, right? I mean, they've been around. Look at the SPY. I think this could dump into the end of the day.
Yeah. So if anyone did take your SPY puts that you alerted just a little bit ago, that we stopped out. We risk management. We stopped out. I think it was a 7% loss only.
Yeah, 7% loss. They're back up to about the 130 now.
Okay.
So a couple cents from that buy-in.
Yeah,
but
so
I think if we drop below 394.17, it's going to hit probably that 150 target that we originally had. I think if we get a big sell-off, it's now under the EMA 21 days, so it really needs to break through that again.
Yep, that's exactly what I'm looking at. The RSI did kind of cool down. RSI on the 1 minute chart was when this was trading in the channel, it's like in the 60s. That's now it's at 49. So RSI is cooling down. Another thing a lot of people don't fail to mention is with the RSI. Okay, yes, we have the two levels, which is the 30 and the 70, right? Another thing is the 50 middle mark. If the RSI is above that, I think it's bullish. If the RSI is below 50, we could go bearish from there. So I just don't think enough people talk about that 50 middle point.
That's why we have you as like a professor, inside of our Discord. You're the professor. You have your shows. You have your live streams with the teaching. So yeah, right here, I really think it's probably going to come and retest that 394.17. If we drop below that, it's toast, and that target will get hit.
There's a bigger picture of the RSI trending down. Look at the RSI trending down right there, and price actions following it. That's just where the RSI is.
So it's back down. It's back up to our average, or just a little bit above our average. Now it's at 140. The contract is. So if we hold this area right here, if we hold 394.17, guys, then it can bounce and go back up. But if not, this thing is coming right back down to probably, I I would say probably like 393.80s to then test that area again. But it
Yeah.
all depends right here on this candle.
This is do or die right here. I mean, we got what do we got? 23 minutes until the bell rings for regular session. Of course, we got after hours trading as well. But getting a bearish signal on the MACD. We got the MACD line cross to the downside of this blue signal line down here. MACD histogram candles are red, starting to turn red. Could be a fake out though, because MACD did the same thing back here and then immediately went bullish again. So we'll see what happens there. RSI is just hanging out right here, 49.50. So we don't really know, if RSI is gonna, it won't let me paint the arrow on that. So we'll see if the RSI decides to go above 50 again, or is it going to stay below 50? If RSI does not get it back above the 50 base, middle point, I think we get more selling. So we'll see what happens.
And I can put I mean, if you're trying to look at SPY and see kind of what trend it's on, this is on the 15-minute, but I mean, you can probably put it on the 30-minute. It's going to show you a good trend too. But on let me draw out the 30-minute chart. And I'll pop it in the live stream chat so people can see. But we're still looking good. I mean, it's not all doom and gloom because today's red.
It's still from our low that we hit on Monday when the bell rang at the 380, I mean, we're still way above that.
So if you look at the chart that I put in our Discord, you can see that we're holding this nice trend line still. It's still to me, as long as we hold that trend line, we're still bullish in my opinion. If we drop below that trend line, and I'm pretty bearish, and I think we come back down to probably test that 388 area next. I know that's a little way down, but I think we can get there in the matter of a couple of days, so.
Yeah, I mean that's level of interest, this 388. I got your image pulled up here, but we see this 388 right here. Definitely lots of interest in that area. And this was around the 18th here, July 18th. And then, we do have I can't zoom in on this anymore, but we got a big long wick right here that matched up with that area. So yeah, 388, it's definitely a level of interest. If, just like you said, if we can't hold this trend line, this green trend line you just drew out here, I totally agree with that. Good stuff there. Let's go back to see what SPY is doing. We'll go back to the 1 minute. Okay, yeah, so
still hovering across that line, right? We haven't really found the direction yet.
Nope.
So yeah, I've just popped that little chart in the live stream chat if anyone wants to look at it. But I think if we hold that next week, then we're pretty bullish still. Just maybe you can save that chart if you want. Or you can draw it on your own chart.
Yeah, be good reference.
You can learn your own charts and draw your own lines and have some fun with that, because it's pretty nice to do that, right, and understand that.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that. Let's see what else we had. I noticed gold was starting to trend up a little bit after they got hit hard recently. I saw a lot of volume pouring into leaps on the actual ticker GOLD. Had about seven. It was at one point it was like 7,900 plus leap options, call options for 2024 were purchased on ticker gold. But that's a lot of volume for one day. I believe that was let me see when that was, because it was either yesterday or the day before yesterday. But it was surprising to see all that volume come in on gold. And yeah, that was 2 days ago. So I went ahead and added to a gold lead position I had because I saw that. And then sure enough, gold's been green for the past couple of days. So I think that was a good add long term there for 2024 for gold. What's oil been up to? Let's look at, I want to see what the cost per barrel of gold. I'm just going to go to my trusted site here, which is CNN.com. They give good stats on the WTI crude. Yeah, it's under $100. WTI $94 a barrel for oil. So at one point it went above 100, and now it's back below, and that kind of reflects in Oxy was down almost 2% today. So a little bit of selling going on in oil. So we're keeping our eyes on that. And another thing I wanted to, you
Look at this beast. Look at this beast, man. HKD.
HKD.
Yeah, it's up 200%. It ran from like 20 bucks to 60.
Moly. Look at this thing.
Look at that one. It's a classic pump and dump from I presume it's like an Asian company. Yeah, it's from Singapore. The company's from Singapore.
It's international Singapore IT company.
It's probably bogus. It's probably just a pump kind of stuff.
I think it is. And the reason why I agree with that, Lee, is because looking at the sector information, IT and communication services were at the bottom of the pack. The most read in the market was IT and communication services. So out of nowhere, this IT software company goes 200% when the market in general is the sector in general, IT and communication services is down hard. This wants to go 200%. So I see this coming back.
Oh, this one's probably going to come back and retest probably 50. Maybe even before the end of the day. We shall see. But this one's going to be hard to even short. So,
Yeah, it's going to be hard to short. It actually just IPO'd on July 15th.
Look at that monthly, that weekly candle, or even the monthly candle. Look at that. It's outrageous. Just one big green candle.
Look at that.
Look at that.
Oh my God. Yeah.
That's it, man. It's like, how do you do any chart analysis off that damn candle, huh?
That's pretty hilarious looking at this chart. This is
the chart. That one.
It's just one candle going up and down. All right, let me. It got IPO'd around $12. It did pump to 32, and then just for a perfect example, this is the only history we have to go off of. IPO'd at 12, pumped up to 33, and then came all the way back down to 18. So we already know that it can dramatically sell off after a pump. So let's see how high this goes. And obviously there's no options on it as it's new.
There's nothing on it, guys.
So how do we get the short side on this thing? We can't. I don't know. I'll check some brokers and see if there's some short shares. Maybe Tastyworks has some shares available for short.
This one, let me see. There's another one that's kind of following it too. Let me see. It's from Hong Kong, and that stock is AMTD. That's another one that's pumping at the end of the day, up 55%.
Look at that.
At the end of the day, they think maybe this is a sympathy play off of that one from my sources that I check. And it says here, so this is a banking and investment service operator out of Hong Kong. I do not trust these companies so much. So this one could get going too. This one can easily start flying up, and push over towards that $2 range. That's kind of where I would look if it starts to keep on going with the volume here.
Yeah, definitely. Let me see here.
So SPY's coming down a little bit. So it's below 3. It's about to go below 394. Those contracts up to 143 now. So
breaking that bottom. Yep, here comes SPY. So if anyone's still in those SPY puts that you alerted,
bam, there you go, guys. It hit the target 152. So it's above target if you stayed in those puts there.
SPY puts printing right now. You thought it was a bad call out, ended up being fantastic. Look at that.
Yeah, so that one, that's what's also good about, like, sometimes I average up, or like I buy one contract and then I have a few on the sidelines waiting. If a resistance line gets hit and it gets hard rejection, then you add those last two there, so it brings your average good. and you're playing that downtrend or you're playing the uptrend, however direction you're playing. But this one you could have done that, because I drew this resistance line here, and it actually hit that resistance, came back down, and now we're downtrending again. So those, let me see what they're doing right now. They're at 155 for those contracts. From 137 was the initial buy. So you got yourself a little profit there if you played it.
Yeah, if you did,
I lost, but you can. If everyone has a different plan, and if you stayed in and did based on your plan and it worked out, fantastic.
Right.
But my plan, it never worked out for me. So
yeah,
congrats.
and exactly what you just said. Don't if you did stop out, don't beat yourself up because you missed, because it ended up going in our favor. Just know that you stuck to your plan, and we have to be disciplined and stick to our plans. Now, if you didn't stop out, well, now you had a chance to get some green, and you turned in maybe a mistake by not following your plan into a lucky winner there. But we just gotta have our plan, stick with it, and don't beat yourself up if you stop out of something and it ends up going in your favor, because that happens to everyone. Okay, and we'll see it on social media a lot. If someone gets stopped out and it ends up going in their favor, and they beat themselves up that they missed out on it, but you can't do that to yourself. You just get, it's just involving too many emotions at that point. But we see that all the time. It's happened to everyone. It's happened to me. It's happened to you. We get stopped out, and then it ends up being in the green. And that's just the nature, so that's just how it is. And we got to have the best trading plan possible and stick with it. It's the best thing we can do.
Yeah, it's it. How is the Mara? Okay, so Mara is down 8% today. Mara, so it's down to 1230. This has been running hot for some time. If I look at the chart right now, I'm thinking.
Oh yeah, look, I got my fibs already.
I'm thinking if Mara drops below, or it's pretty much even actually. The EMA 21 is $12. If it drops below that, I got it on like the 2-hour chart. If we drop below this area, I think we can play this down to like 1150. If it drops below 12, I think we can play this down to 1150, and then if it breaks that, we play it all the way back down to probably like 1075-ish, that area. So there's a lot of potential on the downside for Mara if that was the pump for Bitcoin, and that's it. It's done.
It's got like a double top here on this 2-hour chart. Here. It's solid double top. And I had drew these fibs out the other day when it made that high of 1420. What was that, on Wednesday? And these fibs are definitely holding up. This 23% fib, which is basically the $12 area that you were just talking about. I mean, that's what it's struggling with. It was struggling with it, for the past couple of days. And now here it is again, right down to the low 12s.
Yeah, so I mean, if it holds the area, and you see volume come in, you see a lot of buying volume come in, then play on that bounce play off of that nice support area. If it drops below that area and you see a lot of selling continue to pour in, you play the short side until an area of support holds, the next area of support holds, then you can maybe sell your short and then go long again. And you can do that with puts and calls as well, the same way. So I'm just basically focused on that trend, and if it breaks say 12, then I play it probably down to about 1150, and then there's some space to go down to the 10s. I mean, it ran from 705 at the beginning of the week. So
well, we got an area of interest right here, Lee. Yeah, right here, the 10s, exactly what you just said.
Yes.
You see this? It's right here, and it's very close to the 38% fib, which is 1076. So if it, like you said, if it doesn't hold this 12, we could very well see the 10s. And I know you said there's probably another level there in the middle around 1150-ish. Yeah, right here, right here, 1150, right here. So that's a really good analysis there, Lee. I appreciate that.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
And now we have a plan for upside and downside, right? So
Yeah,
we got
absolutely.
levels of interest we can watch and have a
You
game
know what
plan.
one I wanted to buy? I'm going to start a position, a very small swing position. I was just looking at it, F cell. It's still in a downtrend
Oh
from recent
yeah,
moves to the upside to the fours, just like about 12 days ago. I think like 14 days ago, we we're at in the fours.
yeah.
I'm buying a small position here because I'm looking to the left. There's some support areas that I like and it holds. So I am going to buy a small position of F cell. I
Oh
just
yeah,
like their
right around here.
company, and I followed this for quite a while now. They have okay income, balance sheet is strong. And
Well,
let me see the
the last time
FL.
it came down to the low threes, which is kind of the support
Yep.
area you're talking about,
Right
Lee.
there. Yeah,
Right
that's
here.
kind of where I
Yeah,
would definitely look at. I mean, if you really want to catch the bottom, right there is somewhere that you can just watch and pay very close attention to. And if the buyers step in very strong there and push through that resistance, that you have that line right there. If it holds that area, pushes through, that's a pretty strong sign that it could be a reversal.
right.
So that
Yeah,
also
we need
you
to
can
push
watch
through
that
that.
too. I'm just
Mhm.
gonna buy a few shares just because I'll probably forget about this if I don't. Because I look
Yeah,
at so many, I look at so many stocks every day that
yeah,
sometimes I forget. Like I go back to the ones that I should have been looking at, and they're already ran. So
yeah.
I got to keep a few, buy a few shares I remember.
I mean, the last time this thing hit the low threes, I mean, it literally ran to 440. I mean, that's going to be a huge gain
Yeah, I
there.
mean, if you look at the
30,
liability, only
40%.
185. The liabilities 185 million. The assets are 946 million. The news
I
hasn't
like
been so bad.
yeah. Low debt to asset. I mean, their debt to asset's only 19%. I love that.
So there's
That's
a few
amazing right there.
things that catches my eye.
Yep, 875
This
million in
one.
assets and only 169 million in liabilities. Debt to asset looks fantastic.
It's always been
Love,
like
love.
a favorite stock to play. Like during COVID and just after COVID, this one ran so hot, like up to $29, and it's always
Yeah,
been one that's been popular to play. So yeah, I'm just gonna buy a few shares here, and so I
love it.
can watch it next week.
I love these charts that down, up, and we're on the 2 hour chart here. Now, some of these biotech pharmaceutical companies, I know this is like a battery company, but, some of these other pharmaceutical biotech companies, you look at the bigger time frame charts and literally the price action looks like this trend line, right? All the way down. So I love looking at charts where, we got a roller coaster ride because then we can play the supports and the resistances and play the
Yeah, I
channels.
like the choppiness, right? Yeah, there's a lot of
Yes, I love
choppiness,
it.
and you can play that choppiness, and
They're
it shows
easier
you a
to
true
play.
trend once it changes. It's very
Yep.
a very clear cut, and I
Hmm.
like to play that. So
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah,
So we got the 10-year U.S. yield. I'm looking at I got Bloomberg news up here. It is dropping, which is a good thing for the yields to go down. That's good for the stocks. So we might. I know we're selling off today, but on the overall picture, here's the 2 hour chart on SPY. I mean, we're still bullish on SPY. And it's kind of like that image you
yes,
posted in the live stream chat. We got a pretty, I mean, here, I'll go ahead and redraw it, kind of similar to what you drew. But we just, it's a clear trend right here that we're still above. Let me make it darker. I mean, this is the 2 hour chart here, folks. We are still bullish, even though today was not good. But a day like today, kind of expected, ever since Tuesday, spies ran quite hard. We hit a low of 380 at market close Monday, and we literally had a $20 move in SPY for the rest of the week. So a little $6 pullback that we had today from the high of 400, $5-6 pullback, that's nothing when we're comparing the grand scheme of things that it just had a 20
right,
point run.
it's true.
Actually, a 30-point run. My apologies, because the low was 371. literally a $30 move on SPY. Today's pullback is only $5 or $6.
Just to go back on the stock that we were talking about, we were talking about the Hong Kong one that ran to 63, and I was saying that AMTD was one that's going to, if with volume it hit the $2. Well, go check that AMTD out and see where it's sitting now.
It's still going. It's up 109%.
So we got from that we were looking at this around like 175, 176 when we first popped it on the chart, and now I was, with volume, I did say it's going to go over $2, and we're at 230 now with very strong volume coming in. Look at the volume bars at the very bottom.
Yeah, look at that
pouring in.
Huge. Like compared to the rest of the day, like this was today.
Blasting! Look at this, 260,
130%.
There you go.
Man, that's the 15-minute chart too. We could have.
The minute chart. If you put it on the minute chart, you see a bit more of what's going on. A lot of volume coming in, and like I said, that over 176, 177 with volume, it was going to push to that $2. Especially, there's a lot. When you get a big runner, there's always sympathy plays, right, in the same sector, and this was one of them, and a lot of volume came into this one as well. So. That was good. That was a good 50-cent move right there. Well, 75-cent move from the first time we started talking about it.
No, craziness, man.
Yeah.
Like still wants to keep going too. It just retested this 9-day moving average here. Big red wick there. Yeah, let's see what's. I want to go to the markets here. I know the bell's about to ring. Closing bell here.
Got a few minutes, guys. If you have any options that you want to sell out, you got a few minutes left to do so.
Yep, good reminder there. Got a couple minutes here. Look like SPY. Yeah, so that that put you alerted. Yes, you stopped out with minimal loss, only 7% loss. If anyone missed the stop loss, they ended up getting some nice profit. And then here we are here going back up to the upside right to close the day here. Trying to take back some of the losses, because it is down almost 1%.
There's a lot of movement in the overall watch list. A lot of things are starting to go creeping up green now. I mean, you got IBM pushing green, Tesla's a little bit green.
A little bit, yeah. Look at IBM.
There's IBM, some volume pumping in at the end of the day, and we got a swing out for that one too. So I do like IBM.
Nice.
So that one's like a long hold. So I do like IBM.
I like IBM long term.
In general, we're getting some more volume at the end of the day, right? Closing bell. So it's looking better.
Yeah, it is. It's definitely looking better. Yeah, look, they're going to SPY. Try to take off here.
We're going to get to VWAP in a minute.
I turned it off. Let me turn it back on and see where
it's up there. It's a little ways up. It was creeping.
It's $1 away. That dollar
is creeping. Oh, nice sell off here.
Oh,
it's gonna pop all the way back up.
Look, all right. Who knows?
Watch this.
Little bull trap there, maybe. All right, there's the bell officially rang. I heard it on my Thinkorswim. All right. Well, what a week. What a week. I mean, I just like looking at the week, man. I mean, just phenomenal bull week. I love it. Nice action.
It has been a great week. And like you say right there, you show that trend. That's basically what we played all this week. Like we played Piton from 840 up to 11. We played Tesla from, I feel like we've been playing Tesla for a long time. Originally, we alerted it on the equity side at 655. And it hit recently, 850 or 840 today.
And then it did hit a high of 842 today.
Yeah. So that, and then also, Amy's had like a 2,200% profit potential on Tesla for just this week alone.
Yeah.
Just playing a few days. So, it's been a great week, fantastic week. Now we just got to kind of have a weekend of just relaxing, spend some time with the friends, family. Maybe cook some food outside on the sidewalk as it's 100 degrees outside in Florida. And then we come back fresh, ready for Monday, right?
Yeah, I like it. Everything you just said, great final thoughts there. Everyone, please, enjoy your weekend. Recharge your batteries, hang out with some friends and family, laugh a little bit. And we'll come back ready to kick some butt next week. Other than that, this is Power Hour Live with the Swinging Bull and Mr. SLP. We do this every Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern. So we'll see you guys next week. Have a good weekend.
See you guys.